Thank you all for being here. This is our March YuZoom. I think everyone's pretty familiar with the guidelines that we've developed, but just in case you're all muted, you can raise questions in the chat, and then at the end we'll have some time for question and answer you will be able to unmute yourself at that point. Other than that, I think that we are ready to move forward. So starting up with Dr. Dotson.
Welcome everyone. It's great to see you all. I hope that things are going well for you. I know the weather is nice out, which is certainly helpful. And the sun always makes things a little bit easier. I wanted to give just two semi-brief updates. The first is that I am thrilled to share that our athletics teams are finding some ways to participate. We started some outdoor only small group conditioning about 2 weeks ago. That's gone very smoothly. We also opted in for phase 2 sports competitions. That means that our baseball, softball, and track and field teams will have a chance to compete this spring. There are a few things that had to happen in order for that to occur. The first is, of course, a really clear safety plan that aligns with all of the state's guidelines. And that also means that we had to implement testing. So to Greg Lopin and Eric Burns, who have led the charge on COVID testing on campus, a huge shout out to them for the work that they put in. They did their first round of testing this week with some staff and faculty participating in that, and they hope to move forward with establishing a baseline test for all athletes that are going to participate in competition next week. I hope that goes smoothly for them. We are still waiting to get the final versions of our schedules for those. A few things that you should know. The first is that unfortunately we will not be able to have spectators at those events. We are still trying to work to see if it's possible to live stream them, but no official plans yet. So we won't be able to be there in person. The other is that the seasons may not be as extensive as they usually are. There are some teams who are choosing while they are opting in, but they won't be traveling. So those schedules are coming together. Either way, can't wait to see them on the field as much as we can, and to see some positive progress for our student athletes and our coaches. It's a great sign of things to come. To that end, also a great sign of things to come is the accessibility of the COVID-19 vaccine. So as you all are aware, the county clinics opened up for signups for all educators, which is anyone who works at Yuba College or in the YCCD district is eligible for a vaccine. There are no longer age restrictions. So if you are interested in getting a COVID-19 vaccine, you have a number of options, and I've been emailing them out pretty consistently. The first is that the county clinics are open this afternoon at about 2 o'clock. I checked. There actually were a few appointments left, a limited number. If you don't get signed up with a county clinic, you can also sign up at Walgreens. I did share that information. A few of you responded and said you got right in. And Adventist Rideout just announced today they had previously only been accepting patients of the Adventist Rideout network, but they are now open to anyone. I will tell you that a few folks, when they went in to sign up for some of the clinics, there was some additional warnings about eligibility for age that were listed on Adventist Rideout. Those don't apply. What was posted was that if you are eligible in phase 1A or 1B, regardless of age, that you can sign up. So if you're having any trouble, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm sure you can tell I'm an advocate of those of you who are interested in getting the vaccine. I want to help you get connected to an appointment. So please do make sure you're paying attention to that information, getting signed up. again, a very positive sign of things to come. And with that, I will turn it over to Crystal.
All right, thank you. So March is Women's History Month, and Yuba College Cultural Heritage is excited to bring you a new slider, a Zoom background, and social media posts discussing some virtual events available, including the opportunity to watch some movies in a film festival celebrating women's history. In our graphics, I wanted to highlight who we're featuring. We've got Harriet Tubman, Kamala Harris, Susan B. Anthony, Frida Kahlo, Chen Sheng-Wu, Malala Yousafzai, and Marie Curie. We'll be featuring some information about each of them in the month to come. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are doing well. I'm going to go over some timelines for our scheduling updates. Our summer fall schedule is pretty much it's done. There's no changes being made right now. It is now being input by Sheila. I just spoke with her today. I think we're going to try to get our summer schedule out earlier than we have in the past. We've typically put a summer and fall together. I think she's pretty much done with the summer, so we're going to try to get that ahead of time and be able to post that earlier, and then end up posting the fall after she's completed that. We're going to see how that goes and see if it works better for our students. I know I've gotten many of questions from principals and people of that, people want to know, what does summer look like? Okay, I know fall's coming, but what does summer look like? So we're hoping that we can probably get that out a little bit ahead of time than what has been done in the past. Now moving on to getting ready for our spring 2020 schedule. I know it seems like so far out, but we are working on it now so that we have time to input and get it out in a timely manner. As of right now, your deans and directors should be consulting with their faculty regarding any needed changes. An ex-tally report of the 2021 spring has been sent out to you all. The full-time faculty should have received this. What should be taking place is meetings with your deans. You should be evaluating classes that were canceled or low enrolled and determine if they should be offered or what the demand or the degree requirements are. Deans should be reviewing fill rates, comparing course levels, total capacity versus course level, and total enrollment. Consider removing sections if appropriate or increasing sections if appropriate. While specific guidance or targets are not being provided at this time, as we move forward with enrollment management efforts, we will be specifically looking at FTES generation and FTES-FTEF ratios, average class sizes, fill rates, etc. I want to make sure that we're all adhering to the block scheduling. I want to make sure that we are assigning full-time faculty load. We need to get ahead of this. Begin assignments of part-time faculty with the seniority list if appropriate, and provide start and end dates for short-term classes, dates for orientations, meetings, or any other special dates that pertain to these classes. Add classes as needed to meet each program's 2-year rotational schedule or to meet student demand. This first draft should be sent to my office March 26th, which means the dean should be meeting with their faculty, having these discussions, looking at the data, and then sent to my office. Once it's been sent to my office, I will then have a second scheduling meeting with a team of institutional effectiveness, a couple of counselors, my assistant, the scheduling specialist, Sheila, so that we all can take a holistic view to make sure that we're not missing anything, we're not scheduling classes that students need at the same time, etc. The final schedule for this should be done by May 12th so that we can get that out in a timely manner and we can get the catalog with all of the different changes. Well, no, that comes out sooner. Get the schedule out for spring and ready to go. I think I saw in here face-to-face or, let me go to that. There was a question, hold on. Will spring classes be listed as face-to-face? We are definitely going to be leaning more towards face-to-face, Denise, for fall or for spring 22. I believe yes, I know we're all going, what are we doing? How are we doing? It's a shot in the dark, but like you said, hopefully everybody is getting the vaccine. Anybody that needs it can. I know there's a big push for everybody to come back. Right now, summer is kind of status quo, pretty much online. Fall, we are bringing back more face-to-face using social distancing. I'm hoping for spring, we are more of a normal, but it's probably going to be a new normal. We've learned that we can do hybrid. We've learned that some students actually function really well online. We've learned that some students don't. So I definitely want you to take that into consideration when you're meeting with your deans on, the appropriate method and modality of what you think your classes need to be. I also want to talk about dual enrollment and kind of the new things that are coming there. Last week, we had a meeting with the principals of Yuba City High School, River Valley High School, Marysville High School, Albert Powell and Yuba City Independence Academy, Yuba Career Preparatory Charter, Feather River Academy, East Nicholas, Wheatland, Faith Christian High, and East Nicholas High. We did this with the leadership team and with Michael Bagley, Roy Martin, and Energy is the one that kind of pulled us all together to discuss some of these things. Many of the colleges, I think you already know, we have a partnership with Yuba City High School and River Valley High School for our early college partnerships. We have other high schools that are wanting this. They're looking to see either early college pathways, or we are actually working with Wheatland High for, oh gosh, I've lost the name of it now. They are known as the Pirates, so a Pirates pathway. And there's
Pirates at Sea.
Thank you, Dr. Bagley. Dr. Bagley has been working really hard on this with our subcommittee as well. And their pathway is actually specific to ag and business. So we're meeting with the work group to decide how and what classes would be best suited for these students and what that would look like for them, as they're coming in and going out. Other than that, I think that's all of my updates at this time, and I'm not sure who's next. Sorry, otherwise I'd introduce you.
Hello, thank you, everyone. Hello, this is Daleks. We'll provide some student services updates for you. All right, can we get to the next slide, please? Well, first we want to congratulate Annabelle for being hired as our interim director of CalWorks and EOPS Care. And we'll also be overseeing the food pantry, our Cal Fresh, and Hunger Free program. So as you know, many of you are familiar with Annabelle. She's a dynamic personality and very happy to know that she was offered and that she accepted the position of interim director. So please congratulate her when you get a chance, and also we didn't get a chance to say goodbye to Angela Fowler before she left. Angela started a new position with Ad Hoc, a company based in New York, where she will be reviewing and testing websites for those with sight impairment. So we certainly wish her the best of luck, and as we try to communicate when we have some staff changes, especially during these COVID times. Next slide. Many of you will have questions regarding COVID excused withdrawals. And as you know, from spring 2020 to the end of fall 2020, there's been COVID was considered as just simply having COVID or mentioning COVID on a petition before grades were submitted was considered an extenuating circumstance. And what in the new guidelines or in the executive order, it no longer just accepts COVID as an excuse. really, so what that means, it goes back to what it was prior to. Even though someone may have COVID or may have been impacted by COVID, it still must be verifiable. We know COVID is devastating. We know it has impacted us on many facets of life and the loved ones that we have as well. So a student can submit the information verifiable. Again, this is before grades are submitted. Again, this is back to the process prior to spring 2020. Based on extenuating circumstances that are verifiable, again, before grades are submitted, a student can petition to see if they can receive an EW. And just highlighted a bit of verifiable extenuating circumstances. Job transfer out of the geographic area or region. Maybe that may have some standing. Illness in the family where the student is the primary caregiver. The student is the subject of immigration action. Death of immediate family member, verifiable accidents, natural disasters directly affect the students. These are examples of extenuating circumstances that we would have certainly heard before and will continue to hear. A student cannot just write COVID on a petition and expect the petition to be approved. There was one that recently came through where the student says, well, I have some challenges. I have an extenuating circumstance, but I do not want to share what that extenuating circumstance is. As a result, that petition would be denied, and because it's not verifiable. After grades are posted, or after a grade is issued by a faculty person, that follows our grades, our AP 4231. Standard process, student grieves, will speak with the faculty member, have that conversation. And then the next step is an instructional dean, and the next step, of course, is to go through the academic senate. So that is the update regarding COVID excused withdrawals, or just our withdrawals overall. All right, feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns. That's the end of our student services updates. Okay, well, all right. There's just a quick update with financial aid, new scholarship application that's being worked on by Ana Ramos. That is posted there. So we'll just go ahead to the next slide, and we'll, whoever's next. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to provide a quick update. The College Council and a couple of other areas have reviewed a brand standards guide. This will be published. We will produce a website where some of this lives. It will include some templates, some PowerPoint templates, some guidelines on colors, color palette for our college. And I will send this out through YC All. As part of this work, we are also putting together a small work group to look at our mascot and to identify how we can kind of improve or refine our mascot. So that work group will be getting started pretty soon here. And that is my update for brand standards. Next up, I believe, is Crystal.
Great. I have some Yuba College App updates. They recently did an update to the app, and you may now notice that there are some blue check marks next to verified individuals. This helps identify users that are connected to the app in an official manner, which is great while we answer questions. There were a number of new downloads and registrations shortly after we did our Yuba College App training. And we were super excited to see an increase in engagement with the students. Faculty, classified, and administrators answering questions and connecting with our students, pointing them in different resources. We encourage you, if you would like to connect your program, to email ycengagement@yccd.edu to help set that up. We loved seeing all of that engagement with the students. It really helped connect them with the right people as well. In addition to the increased engagement on that platform, we've also added contact trace and mental health. These are both great additions as we start to think more about face-to-face interaction and everyone's health, especially for those of our students. Next up, I think, is Elena.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elena, and I think I know all of you on the call, but if anybody's watching recording, I'm the full-time librarian at Yuba College, and I've been here since 2008. And some of you may know me in the role of curriculum co-chair. And by the way, I sent an email about the curriculum today to all Yuba, so hopefully you will open it and learn more about what's going on with Illumin. But today I'm here as a librarian. I work with Helen Alexander, who is our only part-time librarian. And together as library science faculty, part of our job is to teach information literacy skills to students. Next slide. Those skills, as you know, are part of the Yuba College's institutional learning outcomes, the information literacy. They are essential for successful completion of course assignments, developing of critical thinking skills, and autonomy necessary for consuming information in a variety of contexts and formats. And also for students as they're becoming lifelong learners and adapting to new information environments. Next slide. Our traditional information literacy focused services are in class and more recently video presentations and one-on-one research sessions. The in-class presentations contextualize information literacy skills as part of the course or the assignment and within the field of study. We try to raise student awareness of both resources and the librarian's role in supporting them. Whereas with the one-on-one research sessions, we support students in finding resources that are specific to their personal information needs. And also, this is an opportunity to help students address weak or misaligned understanding of information literacy skills and orient further relevant skill development toward individual, academic, and personal goals. Right now, students can make up an appointment with a librarian, and we've been having quite a few Zoom appointments. They can also email us, of course. Next slide. And despite these, although we've been offering these traditional services, we're finding gaps. I think the main challenge we've experienced is librarian staffing, with only one full-time librarian on release time and a part-time librarian. We don't spend that much time on outreach as could be needed or useful or beneficial to contact and to support all the departments at the college. With presentations also, and also recorded videos, there is uneven exposure to information literacy skills within the class or across the group. There is, some of people are, they may or may not have previous education related to information literacy and also as the relevant field. And then there is also disadvantages of the one-on-one sessions. Time constraint is really a big one. Also, students often are resistant to learning in a one-on-one session because they just want somebody to give them the article they need. So they're sometimes just closed to the idea of somebody showing them how to find something. So sometimes it's a challenge. And then the focus of the session might not allow for covering the foundational knowledge. Next slide. So to help address these gaps that we've identified, and also to make the best use of our time, we have created information literacy modules in Canvas. There were some modules that were put together by Los Rios community college librarians, and they made them available to everyone. So we took theirs and we modified them for Yuba College. And currently we have modules such as what is research, how to avoid plagiarism, how to cite sources. There is an MLA style for community college researchers module, APA style. And a student would need to be added to a module, and then they could go through the pages and do the assignments. And then there's a quiz at the end, and then they could get a certificate at the end. These modules, the links to the modules are posted on the Writing Center's website and also on the library website. Next slide. We believe that the modules can be useful in conjunction with a class or for students' individual use. When they're used together with a class, this ensures that all students have the same information literacy foundation. It also supports course and program SLOs as related to the institutional SLOs, which could potentially reduce work for faculty. If you're interested in assessing information literacy skills, this could be a great tool, the outcomes of the students completing the information modules. It also provides students opportunity to abstract information literacy skills developed in specific contexts. And then for individual use, students are able to move at their own pace, return to modules every semester. And then both specific and abstract skill building is available. We think potentially it could be useful for a program like a first-year experience or AOP&S department, or another one that could cover a large number of people. So we have great ideas about information literacy modules. And Helen will be presenting a Flacks workshop on March 11th, next week at 2 p.m., which will be just under an hour, and she will demonstrate the modules. If you're interested, you can go in and see them and maybe practice with them, maybe do some brainstorming about how they might be useful. And that completes my presentation. Thank you.
Looks like I'm up. Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. I have a few academic Senate updates to briefly share with you today. The first is that the Senate has endorsed the Distance Education Committee recommendation that Yuba College join the California Virtual Campus Consortium. Our sister college is already a part of the consortium, including Yuba College classes in the exchange, the California Virtual Campus Exchange, will simplify the process for students who are enrolled in another California community college. It simplifies the process for them to find and enroll in our Yuba College online classes. The second thing I wanted to mention was that one of the Senate goals that has been carried over from last year is the work on our governance structure and our committee structure. College and Senate leadership have our first meeting coming up next week with a consultant to discuss how we would like to proceed. And I'll keep you updated on our progress and anticipate that we'll be looking for college-wide feedback in the near future, and especially from committee chairs. In addition, the Senate administration have established a task force to work on improving our scheduling processes with special attention to strategic enrollment management. These processes will be codified in the scheduling handbook. In February, the Senate passed a resolution affirming faculty purview over grading with the intention of empowering faculty to assert their rights to assign grades based on academic performance. I sent an email out to faculty, including the full resolution, and I'll also send a reminder at the end of the semester when final grading is happening. Finally, the Senate and administration are working on a process to identify and prioritize classroom fixtures, furnishings, and equipment updates. Dr. Dotson sent out an email a couple weeks ago outlining a draft process and requesting feedback. So I do want to thank everyone who provided feedback. Finally, although I didn't put a point on the slide, I did want to also add that there's been significant progress in the strategic planning process at the district level, and that a draft mission, vision, and values have been written. And it included the feedback that was received from the surveys that were administered last semester, as well as the community forums and the flex workshops that many of you attended in January. The drafts will go to the Board Policy and Student Success Committee and the associated students for feedback. And there's also an internal constituent feedback survey planned for April. So keep a lookout for that. Next slide. So I also wanted to just bring these sessions up again for the state Senate. So there's the spring plenary coming. If you're interested in attending any of those sessions, let me know. And we definitely have funding to send a good number of faculty. And now I believe I'm turning it over to Jasmine with the bookstore update.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Professor Nofsinger. So I wanted to highlight that majority of late starting classes are beginning on April 5th. On the right, I have listed all of the late starting classes that we see in the schedule, and only the 3 yellow ones have not submitted a book order. So thank you for the excellent submissions. And if you're curious what we have on file, or you want to just double check for your syllabus, the best way to do that would, the link sort of changed. It's yubashop.com. I'll put that in the chat for everyone as well. Next slide, please. And graduation regalia is on the way. We are planning Grad Fair and a lot of commencement activities right now. So students may be inquiring. Feel free to send them our way. It will be online. As soon as it is received in the store, we will take pics of the new 2021 regalia and update the website, and I'll make sure to let everyone know. Any faculty that are looking for keepers or rentals can reach out to me. I'll give you pricing on that. And if any department stoles or any departments are interested in ordering stoles, please reach out to me. If you've ordered before, you'll get it at a discounted rate. New styles do have an extra imprinting fee. So there's special quotes for everyone depending on what sort of graphics you want to put on there. So we can talk about that more. So anything regalia related, please feel free to reach out to me and we can communicate. Next slide. And here's your bookstore contacts if you have any questions. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. Next up, actually, we're going to kind of go backwards a little bit. We were going to hear from Anna Ramos on the scholarship application, so I'm going to turn the screen share over to her.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So thank you. So I'm going to be, I'm here to tell you that our foundation scholarship application is now open. Our student success team has assisted us in advertising it on the Yuba College App, on Facebook, on Twitter. We also have emails going out to all currently enrolled students with a link to the application. Endergy is helping us to advertise to our local high schools. And I'd like to take this time to invite our faculty and staff to also help us with this advertisement. Maybe putting the link on your Canvas classroom or offering extra credit. We also will be providing presentations. We do presentations in classrooms. So if you want one of us to go present in your classroom, a quick snip, it won't take much of your class time. We are very excited to be launching via a new platform through collaboration with our district financial aid office and the foundation. We have launched a new very intuitive application. Let me see if I can. Is everybody seeing the Yuba College homepage? I'm gonna take that as a yes. Okay, so if you go to our financial aid homepage, you'll see that it's already posted as one of our announcements that our foundation scholarships open, and it takes them directly to our new application. On the left hand, the student will be able to explore through any of the scholarships that we are currently offering. But the exciting part of this application is that the student will only have to do one application, and that one application has smart logic built into it. It has imported data from our colleague system. This is my current application. They will sign in through single sign-in, so they will be logging in using their Yuba College student ID number and Portal Guard password. So it's going to look very familiar to them. They won't have to create a new profile or save a new username and password. They're going to have most of the data already pre-populated. They'll answer questions, and like I said, anything they will be filtered through to the scholarships they are found eligible for based on the responses to their answers, the responses to the questions. They are required to write a personal statement, but new this year, we will be, we did have some pretty major changes to the application itself. There are no longer letters of recommendation required. So letters of recommendation are no longer required for our foundation application, which should alleviate some stress on the faculty and staff end. But they are offered as an option. So the student can attach or send a link to the reference requesting a letter of recommendation. We're also happy to announce an extended deadline. So scholarship applications are now open until October 1st. So they have a larger window to be applying. And the income upload is no longer a requirement either. So they will not have to attach any income to their application. So we're hoping that all of this will help reduce the burden of applying for the student and increase our applicant numbers. I think that's it. So if you guys have any questions, or if you'd like us to present in your classroom, we would love to be able to assist, so feel free to reach out to me.
Anna?
Yes.
There's a question in the chat about will scholarships be awarded prior to October 1st so they may be used for the fall semester?
So this is a trial, not at this time. So this semester, for this academic year, we're going to be awarding towards the end of November.
Okay, thank you, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us to the end of our presentation. Are there any questions? Okay, not hearing any.
Yep. So if there aren't any questions, and this really ends the formal part of our presentation this afternoon, we will certainly stay on for a few minutes if you do have any questions that come up, and we'll watch the chat. But thank you everybody for being here. It was great to see you. We do have a student YuZoom coming up next week, so you'll see some information coming out about that, and we would really appreciate your assistance in trying to get the word out so that we can help as many students as possible. It was great to see you. Have a good day.